Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be getting a little sensitive, a little personal. Well, not really personal, but it is a sensitive topic. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about being a black girl in the medical field, or being an African American in the medical field, period. No matter if you're a phlebotomist, medical assistant, clinical laboratory assistant, pharmacy tech. I'm gonna tell you guys my experience of working in the medical field since 2019. It's now 2022, and I'm gonna tell you guys everything that I've been through, everything that I've seen, and stuff like that. So if you're interested on how life's been as a African American female in the medical field, then stay tuned.
F savage bitch, in your trap and take over. Name another bitch that's colder. I just bought a brand new Rover. I don't even drive no more, I got a chauffeur. Took off, man, they asking me to slow up. Getting wiser and my money getting older. Now that bitch, I ain't even gonna hold you. Now that bitch, and I thought that it told you.
I haven't really thought of doing a video like this. I just noticed when I was working in the medical field, there is a lot of different attitudes towards different people. And then I had my aunt bring up, when I tell her certain situations that I've been through, I had her bring up that I should do a video about it. Now I'm here doing a video about being an African American female while in the medical field. Oh, I just got chills and I don't know why. I'm black every day, so I literally deal with certain things almost every day. We're gonna start with when I was a phlebotomist in the hospital. Yes, I'm an African American phlebotomist in the hospital. First of all, I feel like being an African American in general, whether it's male or female, it's hard to get a job in certain places. I noticed that when I was doing applications, I didn't really get that many callbacks. That's just me personally. I'm not gonna say it's like that for everybody, but honestly, I didn't start getting callbacks from jobs until I started putting prefer not to answer for my race. And that could be in different areas. That could be for you if you're an African American person watching this, or it could not be for you. I guess it depends on the area where you're applying for and the company that you're applying for. But I feel like I've gotten a lot of callbacks because I have started putting do not prefer as my race. So that's the first problem I noticed. I noticed that a while ago when I first started applying. Yeah, I was getting some interviews, but I never got the job. Then I started putting I do not prefer to put my race. Then I started getting, of course they would see me in an interview, but I would start getting more offers. Because especially with the pandemic hitting, most of the interviews were over the phone. So most of the interviews were over the phone, or there was over Zoom or something, but we didn't have to turn a camera on so half of the time. So I feel like a lot of job offers that I got was because I did put I do not prefer to put my race. I have dealt with a lot of patients that did not want me to touch them. I have dealt with a lot of patients that did not want to talk to me, or they would talk to me indirectly. When I say they would talk to me indirectly, they would most likely, like, I would be like about to draw their blood, they would talk to me, but they would turn their head. And yeah, I know you guys are like, but Denia, you're drawing the blood, most people don't want to see. Yeah, I understand that. That's what I was thinking. But then it came to a point where some of them were asked for different people, even though I've sucked them before. It's just an uncomfortable thing. I have some people, while I'm working as a pharmacy tech trainee, I've had some people that I would ask them for their first and last name and date of birth so I could look up their medications, and they wouldn't look me in the eyes, they wouldn't look at me in my face, they had to look away, they had to look down. And I know you guys probably think, well, maybe that's a social issue, but I came across people that do this, and then we either have a problem with their medications or we can't get their medication over. And then once I call a pharmacist in a white coat, a white man or a white female over, they're up looking them in their eyes contact, talking loud, more confident, and laughing and joking. But with me, it was more of attitude. I don't want to talk to you, I don't even want to look at you type of thing. So I know that I'm not gonna say that it's just strictly in the medical field, but I would like to say it's more, to me, it's more noticed in the medical field. Yes, I worked at a pizza place, I worked at Chanello's, I worked at Cookout, I worked at Burger King, I worked at the warehouse, but I haven't got treated the way I've been treated since I started working in the medical field. I feel like when you try to move up in the medical field, when you're at a certain facility, they look at you based off of your race or where you're from. Because I would try to do certain things and people would talk you down, like, oh, you just need to do this, or you don't need to do that, or you can't do this, like you can't move up. And that's a lot with our people as well. I feel like when I say our people, I'm talking about African Americans. I feel like we give each other a hard time as well. I had a customer as a pharmacy tech trainee. I had a customer that I was handling over the phone. She wanted to pick up her inhalers and another medication, right? So I filled her inhalers and her other medication. She came to the drive-thru with an attitude. Mind you, she had 2 different types of inhalers and she didn't specify which one she wanted. So she already came up with an attitude. I had already had her stuff filled and ready for her. I gave it to her. And then she started like going crazy because she didn't get the one that she wanted. And like I was trying to tell her, there were 2 different inhalers in your profile. I filled her inhaler. Then we had a problem. She started fussing, she started cussing, and she had a friend in the car. She started fussing and she started cussing. So I didn't do anything but filled the inhalers that they wanted, even though she didn't specify. I gave her the inhaler. Then she wasn't paying attention. Her window was up. Her head was turned. So I was standing there because I mean I can't honk. I can't yell louder than what I'm yelling over the intercom on the drive-thru. So she finally sees that I'm ready. I'm giving her her medication. And so she looks at me and then I look at her to get the medication. Then she just started fussing and cussing me out. So they say they would jump me. They said they would come up to my job. They would wait for me outside. This and then the third. All over a medication that they didn't specify. And I know that I could have specified or I should have specified, but that medication that she wanted was not supposed to be refilled anyway. So I refilled the one that was eligible for refill. So the one that she ended up getting that she wanted to refill on, I had to do extra things to get it to be able to be refilled. So that's where the miscommunication was. But the fact that she already came to the drive-thru with the attitude, I don't know why, because I told her I was filling it. And then once she came up, it was filled. She still had an attitude. She was cussing and fussing. And then after the exchange of the medication, she started fussing and cussing. Her friend started fussing and cussing. I don't know why you looking at me like that. We'll come in there and jump you. We'll wait on you to get out. Da, 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 da. That makes it hard. We already have to deal with racist people in the world. Now we have to deal with our own people having an attitude with us over something so simple or something so little. I could see if I would have been like, okay, well, you didn't ask me for that, so I'm not going to do that. No, I didn't do that. I went to the computer. I did what I had to do to get it to be able to be filled, which I would have to ask my pharmacist and stuff like that. And then I filled it and I gave it to her. So I could see if there was a problem if I didn't fill it, but I filled it. So people like that kind of make it hard. So I know some African Americans hate working with their own kind or whatever the case may be. And I see why, but then again, I don't, because everybody has their own perspective on things. Everybody acts a certain way for certain reasons. So I feel like you can't select yourself to working with one kind of person based off race, because everybody has their own way of acting, their own reasons of acting, and their own actions, their own consequences. So it's kind of like I've dealt with so many people that told me to get out the room because they didn't want me to stick them. I dealt with people that would literally cuss me out while sticking them because the nurse really needs their blood, so they wanted me to stick them because I was one of the good ones at night. I'm not saying I was the best one, but I was one of the good ones. They'll be able to get a hard stick. So it was just kind of hard to, after the years of working, even though I started working in the medical field 2018, 2019, it was still hard to deal with the way people treated me. I would say I've been treated the worst in the pharmacy, most definitely, and the hospital. Pharmacy, I've gotten people that come in with Confederate flags around the belt, or like a mask of can't even say the word, Lord, Confederate flag. Just representing that is just disturbing. They wouldn't even work with me. Like they didn't want me to get their information at all. Some people that I've worked with, even if it's something so simple like, oh, we can't refill this because we're waiting on the doctor's request to refill it, they will fuss and cuss with me, literally yell their lungs out with me. But once, it don't even have to be a pharmacist, but once another tech of a different color comes up and they tell them the same thing that I told them, it's a different attitude. It's a different attitude. It's a different body language. It's a different tone. The facial expression completely changes. They're like, oh, really? So why do you have to contact them again? And with them, they're fussing, they're cussing, they're yelling to the top of their lungs. That gets frustrating. And I've talked to it to my recent coworker, and she's like, yeah, you get that a lot, you're just gonna have to deal with it. And I understand dealing with it, but it's just like, you really, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. Yeah, you have to deal with it, but it's still like, dang, well, why do we have to be like this? Why do we have to treat somebody a certain way because of their color? And it's really hard for me. I'm not gonna say it's hard for me to do my job, but it's really hard to stay in a positive attitude when you're doing something and you know you're doing right by telling a person something, why we can't feel something, information, anything in general, and they just like shut you down, cuss you out, fuss you out. But once a person of a different color, it don't even have to be a person above me, like a pharmacist, a person that's the same as me, a tech trainee or whatever, tells them something, just because there's a different color, it's like a totally different mood, a totally different response. And it's just hard. I never really seen people talk about race in the medical field. Yes, I've seen some videos of medical school while being black, but I just want to talk about being black in general, being in the medical field. I feel like I cannot put my race on applications. I feel like I have to act a certain way. I'm not saying I act ghetto at the workplace, but it's like I have to put a certain tone. I have to wear my hair a certain way. I can't wear my eyelashes because I feel like people already treat me differently than what I am. They treat me like I'm a alien or something. I recently had a coworker, my boss, one of my bosses, I recently had him show me a video at my new job. I'm telling you, I never got mad at this job. I never cussed nobody out at this job. I never fussed with a patient at this job. I never fussed with a coworker at this job. But he took it upon himself to tell me, Denaya, this reminds me of you, right? And he shows me a video of a coworker fighting with a customer, and it was two white girls. He was like, Denaya, this reminds me of you, and he was laughing. He's a white man. So I look at him and I look at the video, and I was like, do I seem aggressive to you? And he was like, no, I was just joking. And I was like, but I don't feel like that's a joke. I feel like you're saying this based off of my color, because I bet anybody else in this pharmacy, you didn't say, oh, this reminds me of you. Why does that remind me of you? Why does that remind you of me? Like, you can't even tell me why, because I haven't gotten physical at this job. I haven't gotten aggressive at this job. I haven't cussed anybody out at this job, whether if it was a coworker or a customer. I haven't done anything of the sort. So for you to show me a video of two girls fighting, a coworker and a customer fighting, telling me that you this reminds you of me, but you don't even know me, confuses me, and I want to know why. It's just a lot of stuff working in a medical field that I feel like people don't want to talk about race. People feel like things aren't about race, but at the end of the day, it is. It really is. I work with a coworker now. She used to go to the school that I go to. Now she's getting out of school, and people ask her why. She was like, it's too ghetto for me. If you go there, it's just ghetto. First of all, so the school was too ghetto for you. Mind you, my school is messed up. I'm not going to take that from her. You have your opinions on things. It is what it is. But for you to go to a school for a year and a half and fail a class and fuss and cuss the dean out, and her not put you in classes because you fussed and cussed her out, so she doesn't want to work with you, she don't want you in the program anymore. Now you want to switch schools and call it ghetto, this and that. If you go there, you ghetto, da 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 da. That's what frustrates me. And because you have a certain skin tone, you feel like cussing somebody out is supposed to get you somewhere. But if we were to cuss somebody out, jail, police call, whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying just because she cussed somebody out, somebody else should cuss somebody out. But I'm saying you act a certain way, but you don't get the response that you want. Now that you got the response that you need, you're upset and you want to call it ghetto. A whole bunch of this people go here. Does it? First of all, you was going to stick it out to graduate. That's first of all. Now it's ghetto because the teacher, the dean, doesn't want to talk to you because you cussed her out. That's second of all. Now everybody that goes there is ghetto. That's what I'm talking about. People don't know what to say out their mouth. People don't know how to react to certain things. And I know that a coworker knows that I feel some type of way with certain things that are said, because when she said that, she looked directly at me and I looked at her, because I also told her about the video that was showed to me saying that this reminds me of you. It's disturbing. It is disturbing, especially if you have to work with these people all the time. Now it's like, dang, what do you think about me? And I know you shouldn't care about what people think about me, about you, but it's just like, you work with these people every day. It's just hard. It is hard being in the medical field as a black person, black female. I'm pretty sure it's way harder for the black males. It's a learning experience. It's something to really, I'm not gonna say consider and don't get into the medical field, but it's something that you're really gonna have to, you know, just breathe. Like, you're gonna have to take yourself to the side, breathe, calm down, because if you act a certain way, oh, she did this, oh, he did that, oh, the police need to be called, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna sue this. It's all about that with us. When we do certain things or we act a certain way, whether it was right or wrong, we always get put in a fucked up situation. And I'm sorry to say that, but we always get put in a fucked up situation. That's just what it is. And I know that people feel like we shouldn't make everything about race. I felt like that. I felt like, well, he showed me that video, but I shouldn't make it about race. But I had a talk with my friend. It's like, yeah, you want to think positive, like, oh, everything's not about race. It's not about race. Maybe it was a coincidence or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's about race. Everything is about race. What you do, everything, every move you make is about race. If you make the wrong move and you're a certain color, that could put you in a terrible path, wrong path, fucked up situation, whatever you want to call it. So I just act accordingly. If people refuse me to stick them or anything like that, I don't stick them, because I don't want to get my license taken away. I don't fuss with them. I just move on. People that fuss with me at the pharmacy about certain medications, since they want to talk to the other people, I'll go get them. So people that fuss with me and cuss with me at the pharmacy, or be like, you don't know what you're talking about, or da 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 da, or fuss with me through the drive-thru, I just get somebody else of a different color, because it's just exhausting to try to explain yourself and they still don't understand or don't want to understand because you're saying it, and when somebody else say it, it's like, oh, okay. It's just frustrating. It's exhausting being black in the medical field. And I'm not saying I don't like my color. I'm not saying that I wish I wasn't black, because I'm happy to be black. I love this chocolate skin. But it's just frustrating, and I try not to, like, I didn't think I was gonna get emotional. I try not to think about it, but it's just hard when you work. It's hard when you work every single day, different races, and you get treated differently even though you do the same thing. Especially when you're not wrong. Not wrong as in trying to harm somebody, trying to neglect them of any care. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're doing your job to the best of your ability, you're trying to help the person, and they're still fussing and cussing at you because of your color, I would honestly find somebody else to take care of them, because that can go really, really bad on either parts. And that's what I've been doing. Now, if there's nobody else to tend to them, I will continue to tend to them, but I would tend to them with caution. because it's getting crazy out here. I just wanted to share my little story with you guys and how I feel that we do get treated a certain way in the medical field. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be fixed with how we treat each other, but you know, one person can say something and then that doesn't mean everything's gonna change. It is what it is at this point, sadly. But if you are a black person in the medical field, I just want to say this: stay motivated, keep your head up. Don't let somebody of a different color or the same color treat you nothing less than what you are. Continue to do your job to the best of your ability. Do what you have to do when you have to do it in the proper way to do it. Don't let people take you out of your zone to where you can get fired, license suspended, certification suspended, fired, anything. Don't let people do it, because that's what they want to see. Just like when I got fired at my job. I got fired by a black man. First of all, I was supposed to get 3 strikes of the red rule, which was putting the wrong birthday for somebody's profile. Instead of getting 3 strikes, I only got 1 strike, which is unfair because I was still new. So I was supposed to get 3 strikes. On top of that, I was still in my probation period, so that means I was still training. So I was not supposed to get fired at all. But certain people feel that they have this certain ability to do certain things because they're in a certain position, and he fired me. I feel like he fired me because I talked positive. I talked about moving up. I talked about doing this. I talked about doing that. And some people of your own color does not want to see you move up. Some people that's not your color does not want to see you move up. It depends on the person and who you're working with and how you and your relationship with them. I feel like he didn't want to see me move up. I feel like he wanted to see me fail, because everything happened so fast, and he was working on something that didn't need to be worked on because I was still in probation and I was still training. But I would like to say to you guys that don't give up. You're gonna get frustrated, but at the end of the day, you're just doing your job. So if you're in the medical field and you're a black man or a black female, kudos to you. You are doing fantastic. Keep pushing. Don't let people change your attitude, change your goals, change your motives. Continue to do what you're there for. Continue to hit all your goals. Continue to flourish. That's what I tell myself, honestly, every day. Working in a pharmacy is the place where I realized it the most. Racial interactions, between black people and white people, white people and white people, black people and black people. Not saying that other places cannot have problems with black people and white people, but there is a lot of racism. But I just want to say, y'all keep pushing. Don't give up. You're gonna deal with things in life, but don't let it stop you from your goals. Continue to push for what you're pushing for, and continue to flourish and grow, and you will get and hit every goal in life. Continue to treat people with respect and positivity, even though they may come at you a different way because of your color, or because of how you talk, or because of how you dress, or how you wear your hair. Just continue to do your best. I hope you guys liked the video. It was long, it was emotional. I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but it's just I've been dealing with this for a little bit, and I just started this job and I've noticed it more and more, and it's just frustrating. But y'all stay safe, keep your mask on, keep your hands washed, and I'll see you guys in my next video.